Hi, you guys. Assalamu alaikum, Hassan. I hope you're doing well.
Walaikum assalam, ma'am. Alhamdulillah.
All right. So, Hassan, were you able to check the recordings from the previous lecture?
Yeah, I saw not the all, but just a few.
All right. All right. So, we're continuing from there only.
Correct.
Now, at the end of the last lecture, what we did was that we discussed this theory that how are we going to identify the best project and what are the methods through which you're going to move um, in investment appraisal. Now, the real question arises that how to check projects. So, step three was to check projects. Now, through different investment appraisal techniques, you'll have to check projects. Out of them, one is discounted cash flow technique, and the second one is non-discounted cash flow technique. Discounted cash flow technique is basically that technique which considers the impact of the time value of money. However, non-discounted cash flow does not consider the impact of the time value of money. Now, in discounted cash flows, we have NPV, that is our first technique to be discussed. Then we have IRR, that is that is going to be discussed in regards with net present value only. Then we have discounted payback period. And in non-discounted cash flow technique, we have return on capital employed, that is ROCE. You might have done that in your F7 paper as well as in your F3 as well. Other than that, we are going to discuss payback period technique. So if you guys want to note this down, note it, and then we're going to move towards NPV, giving 2 minutes. Let me know once you guys are done copying.
I'm done.
Preetham, what about you? Okay. All right. Moving on. Net present value technique. This basically tells you whether your project is making a profit or is it making a loss. If the NPV is positive, then you accept the project. Why? Because that tells you that your company or your project is making a profit. But if your NPV is giving you a negative answer, then that means that it is making a loss, which is why you reject the project then. This is the decision making criteria for NPV. How will you compute NPV? Present value of returns. Returns are basically the inflows that you're getting. Let's say if you're getting a sales revenue of $100,000, that is your return. Similarly, if you're getting a profit of $50,000, that is your return. Minus initial investment. Initial investment is the amount that you invested at the start of the project. Now, there are some assumptions and limitations of NPV. NPV technique only considers relevant cash flows. No irrelevant cash flows are going to be considered under NPV. What do I mean by relevant cash flows and what do I mean by irrelevant cash flows? Relevant cash flows are all those cash flows that are coming because of your decision making. Let's say I decided to invest in a project today. So the investment that I'm making is going to be occurring because I made the decision. So let's say if I've decided that, okay, I am investing in this project, and the very next day I have to invest $100,000. Now, this $100,000 occurred because I decided that, yes, I want to invest. So this becomes a relevant cash flow for me. But let's say if you've already rented a place, let's say you rented a place to live in it. Okay. But later on, you decided that, okay, how about I start production in this area and I do not want to live in it anymore. So you go to the landlord, you talk to him, and he says, no, you can't produce anything over here. All you can do is live. And you come back, you say that, okay, I'm not going to pay any more rent. I am going to leave this place and I'm going to go to some other place. Now, if you've already contracted with that person that you are going to live in this area, in this place for 11 months or for 10 months or for 9 months, whatever the amount of months it is, then you need to pay rent for those amounts. You can't just go and leave out the rent. Okay. So in this situation, whatever your rental costs are, these are not relevant cash flows. Why? Because these would have been relevant cash flows when you would have started paying rent after you planned on production. So let's say if you plan on starting production and then you rent out a factory, then this becomes relevant cash flow for you. But the one you've already committed to, and then if you're taking a decision, then this becomes irrelevant to your decision. Okay. Are we clear about these two examples?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the third one, non-cash flows are not considered. Non-cash flows means depreciation, amortization. These are not considered. Why? Because when you are accounting for depreciation or amortization, depreciation is when there's a fall in the value of a tangible asset. Amortization is when there's a fall in the value of an intangible asset. So both are one and the same thing. But basically, when you are accounting for them, you're not actually paying anything when you are accounting for depreciation. Rather, it is just an estimate. So this estimate is considered to be a non-cash item, which is why you do not include it in your NPV technique either. All clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the second point, it says the cash outflow occurring at the start of the project is believed to have occurred at the end of year zero. So one thing that you need to consider is that your project would have a number of years, let's say 3 years. This year zero is basically before the start of the project. Or it is considered to be the start of the project. Because from year one onwards, your project actually starts. It starts from here. But before year one, you're just investing. In year zero, you're only going to be investing, right? So if somebody says that your project is giving you a return at the start of the project only, then it is considered to be occurring at the end of year zero. The assumption in NPV is that because it is theory, so the assumption is that if anything is occurring at the start of a particular year, it is going to be mentioned at the end of the previous year. So if it is being incurred at the start of year one, it will be mentioned in year zero. But if it is being incurred during year one or at the end of year one, then it is going to be mentioned under year one only. Okay. So if you read the third assumption, it says a cash inflow or outflow occurring during the year is assumed to have occurred at the end of the year, which means it is going to be written under year one only. A cash outflow or inflow occurring at the start of the year is assumed to have occurred at the end of the previous year. So if somebody says that, okay, there is a cash inflow coming at the start of year three, so it is going to be mentioned at the end of year two. All clear? I want you guys to copy this down. Then we'll move towards smaller examples. Let me know when you guys are done copying. Now, here's an example. It says a company will receive $2,000 in year one, $3,000 in year two, $5,000 in year three on investing $9,000. Interest rate is 10%. Find NPV. So, what needs to be done now? You know that when it says will receive, this becomes future value, right? So, in year zero, we invest. I've told you that. So in year zero, since you're investing, that leads to a cash outflow from your end, which is why you're writing it in negative 9,000, because the cash is going out of your company or out of your pocket. 2,000 is something that you're going to receive in year one, so that is an inflow, which is why you're writing it in positive. In year two, you're going to get 3,000, and in year 3 you're going to get 5,000. Now in order to bring them into the present value terms, which means in today's terms, you need to multiply it by the discount factor. So the discount factor is mentioned as 10%. You're going to check it from the present value table, multiply it by the net cash flow, 9,000 negative into 1, because I told you that in year 0, whatever the discount factor may be, your factor is going to be 1 only, because it is already in present value terms. So 9,000 into 1 becomes 9,000 negative, 2,000 into 0.909, 909 becomes 1818, 3,000 into 0.826 becomes 2478, 5,000 into 0.751 becomes 3755. So this becomes negative 949. When you're going to add these and then you're going to subtract it from this would become negative $949. And then because the NPV is negative, you're going to reject the project. Okay. Copy this down. Then you're going to move towards the other example. I want you to try this question. I've written the discount factors, so you don't have to go back to looking at the present value table, but I want you to try it out.
Ma'am, positive 1246. So the project will be accepted.
Yes. Preetham, please check your working once again. Hassan, move towards the second example.
The second example, it has the same discount rate. No, it doesn't.
No, it has 10%. So for 10%, your discount factors are going to be, if you have your book open, you can check it from there. Otherwise, I'm going to write it down.
Ma'am, my books are on their way. I will reach by
Okay.
next week. I will.
So discount factor is going to be 1 for year 0, 0.909, 0.826, and 0.751. Preetham got this right answer. Great. Move towards the second example then.
Negative 716. So the project will be rejected.
Okay. Waiting for Preetham to respond. Preetham, please check your workings once again. It is negative 716. It says at the start of the fourth year, the company will receive a cash grant of $1,000. So cash grant is basically an income that basically it is going to increase your amount, right? So it is an incoming amount. Also, it is being received at the start of fourth year, so it should be written at the end of year 3. Okay. Just check that. I believe there might be an issue over there only. Okay. Moving on. Here's a longer question. Project cost is $200,000. Life is 4 years. Sales are 10,000 units per annum. Selling price is $25 per unit. Material cost is $8 per unit. Labor cost is $3 per unit. Variable overheads are $4 per unit. Fixed overheads are $10,000 per annum. Tax rate is 30% and discount rate is 12%. You need to find NPV. So what are you going to do in year 0? You write the investment amount, that is an outflow of 200,000. Sales revenue is going to be 25 into 10,000 because your selling price was 25 and your sales volume was 10,000 units, right? So every year it is going to remain constant, no change in it. So 250,000, 250,000 up till year 4. Material cost is $8 per unit and you're selling 10,000 units. So 8 into 10,000 becomes 80,000. But this is an outflow because that is a cost for you, right? So you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for these expenses, which is why cash outflow of $80,000. Labor cost is $3 per unit into 10 units, into 10,000 units. So that is going to be 30,000 cash outflow. $4 per unit into 10,000 units becomes $40,000 cash outflow. Then fixed overheads, are in total always. So $10,000 is going to be another cash outflow. In the end, you're going to net it off and you're going to receive 90,000 as your total cash outflow. Sorry, total cash flow. 250,000 minus 80,000 minus 30,000 minus 40,000 minus 10,000 gives you 90,000. Tax is going to be paid, but if you remember I'm not sure if you guys have attempted for tax or not, but tax is already paid for the amount that you are um, having at the end of the year after paying off all your expenses. So basically, the tax amount is paid on the profits. So 90,000 are your profits. So 90,000 into 30%, because the tax rate was 30%. This gives you $27,000 of tax. Tax is also excluded from the profit because tax goes out to the government from your end. Therefore, 90,000 minus 27,000 gives you the final profit after tax, which you also call it net cash flow, because profit is different, cash flows are different. Profit also includes depreciation, amortization, etc. But cash flows are different. They only include the cash coming in and cash going out of the company, which is why we do not write it as profit, but we do consider it as profit. We instead write it as net cash flow. So 63,000 is your net cash flow, multiply it by discount factor of 12%, and you get your present values. Once you get your present values, add these together, subtract it from 200,000, you get negative $606. Therefore, you're going to reject the project. Any confusion? If you feel the pace is really fast, let me know. I'll slow it down. Okay. I want you guys to copy this down and the solution, then we'll move on. Let me know when you guys want me to scroll down so that you can copy down the solution.
Done, ma'am.
Preetham, what about you? Next question, you guys have to do it. Do copy this question down and do read it carefully before you start off, because if you see, the units are rising, nothing else is changing, everything else is the same as the previous example only. The only difference is that your sales units are increasing, your material cost is falling, and your variable cost is rising.
Ma'am, I don't have the discount factors.
Oh, yes. So the discount factors are, one for year zero, that is how it is always, 0.909 for year one, 0.826 for year two, 0.751 for year three,
Sorry, ma'am, if you can repeat 0.909 for year one.
0.826 for year two, 0.751 for year three,
All right, ma'am.
0.683 for year 4,
And last year.
0.621 for year 5.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem.
Ma'am, I think my answer is wrong, but
Tell me what the answer is.
it's negative 368,065.
808637 positive is the answer.
Ma'am, the project cost is 500,000, right?
Yes. And then your present value for year one would be 219,523. Then for second year, 245,735. Then for year three, 266,530. Year four, 282,557. And year five, 294,292. Check the workings. Preetham, check your working again, 808637. I'll write the answer on the chat. Okay, Preetham, so you got the correct answer. Zishan, what? Sorry, Hassan, what about you?
Ma'am, I'm getting the net present value to 1952.3. I'm getting something. Yeah, all right. My answer is fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I made a blunder.
808637.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. I made a blunder.
all right. Copy this down and then I'm going to explain it to you guys. For this example, you guys are going to do the first part as the homework. Second part, I am going to explain it to you guys tomorrow and we'll do it in the class only. You guys will perform it and I'm going to guide you at that time. Taxes paid in same year as profits is going to be done just the same way as you've done the previous examples, no difference in it. Okay? Let me know once you've copied it.
Done.
All right, so we are going to stop right here. Do this as a homework and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow then. Take care.
All right, ma'am. Okay,
Bye bye.
thank you.
No problem. Allah Hafiz.